All right. I believe Orange Sports Network. Such a time as this. We got a lot to talk about. Also, like to give a shout out to Michael Dent, Allstate Insurance, Michael Dent Risk Insurance Management. He's over there at 6060 Calhoun Highway, Suite A. He's been a sponsor of ours going on for years. He will shop the market for you. He's an honest guy. He's trustworthy. We all need insurance, so you might as well go with somebody that's experienced and knows what they're doing. He's been doing it for a while, so we've got a lot to talk about. And of course, now the transfer portal and everything going on. Football season technically is over, but really we're having more drama and more breaking news and excitement in the off season than we had all during the regular season. And unless you've been sleeping in a cave or sleeping under a rock, I guess you've heard what's happened with the transfer portal and Luke Farrelly and Ole Miss. And I was just watching Dabo's his interview. I think it was like a godsend because Dabo, he has a way of speaking, a way of putting things, and a way with words that not a lot of people can articulate the way he put it. And basically what we're looking at is he's like, yeah, sometimes I'm in my own lane, and I'll look the other way. You do you, I'll be me. But when somebody blatantly is tampering, they got to be called out, and who will turn them in? And what I'm getting at is Luke Farrelly signed a contract, a legal document, a contract, okay, with Clemson University, enrolled in school, okay, and was working out with the guys, got an apartment, and the transfer portal, it's no longer open. And I agree with what Dabo said. It's kind of like he was making a speech to the NCAA college football in general and where we're at in college football. He says, we need to have and I agree with this after thinking about it, we need to have a cooling off period. So in other words, the transfer portal starts, it opens up right like the first week in January, like January 2nd, January 3rd, it's open. You still got guys that are playing in the playoffs. They haven't cooled down. You got people that are in the, going for a national championship. We haven't had the college playoff championship yet. We're in the playoffs, yet the portal's open. And I totally agree with what he said. I think we need to have a cooling off period during the time that college football ends and just cool off, settle down, take a look at what's going on out there, relax. And what about March? What about March 5th, March 10th? And I think a lot of people are making rash decisions because of the calendar. And I think the calendar's wrong. I totally agree with them on that. And I think we shouldn't even have the portable open right now. So anyways, in case you don't know, John Duncan, the vice president of enforcement of the NCAA, Dabo, Clemson University in general, has turned over its case to the NCAA to see what they want to do. The guy is sitting in his classroom, 8 o'clock classroom, and he's getting a text from the head coach of Ole Miss asking them, well, we know you signed. Let me say this again. We know you signed. Let me say it one more time. We know you signed, but what's the buyout? Now, that ain't a definition of ingredients of tampering. I don't know what it is. We know you signed. Keyword, what's the buyout? And it's just crazy. You ought to go on TigerNet and listen to the video back and forth between Graham Neff, Ben Boulware, who's, of course, the linebacker coach, Tom Allen. And then finally they ended up sometime that Friday of last week being trying to talk to him. And he's like, I got to go. I got to clear my head. And he's off to Ole Miss. And so we'll see what comes out of that. I mean, it's just crazy the times that we live in, where you got a guy that's 19, 20 years old getting paid $1 million and another school coming over here outside the portable. The door's closed. What's your buyout? So, I think Dabo has a right to be a little ticked about this, or any Clemson fan. I think something like that is definitely a definition of tampering. Definitely, that's a definition of tampering. You've already signed. The portable's not open. And you got somebody texting you in math class at 8 o'clock in the morning, what's your buyout? How much did you get? I know you signed. What's your buyout? So the word is that they offered him double that amount. So, and Dad was talking, this is not really about a linebacker. It's not really about Clemson. It's where college football is in this day and age. I mean, 10 years ago, we never saw this happen. So I think there need to be some changes. I think the calendar, the cooling down period is definitely a plus. There's no reason to jump in January the 2nd, January the 3rd and open up the portable. We haven't even finished college football to begin with. So that's something that they need to look at. So I hope all y'all are hunkered down. In case you haven't heard, this is Armageddon, Ice Armageddon Snow 2026. We should see something around. I'm over here in Greer. Should see something around about 4 or 5 o'clock. I think it's going to start out. The sleet is what they're talking about. The main thing is, the thing that worries me is the freezing rain. Because of the freezing rain, the trees and the power lines, and a lot of people, I don't know what it is about upline. They call for snow, we'll get a couple flakes, or we'll get rain, or miss us. But no, we hardly ever get any snow, but we'll get an ice storm. And I'm not a meteorologist, but I know above North Carolina, they're getting all snow. I would love, since I don't live up north, I love good old nice snow. But ice, nah. You try driving around with that stuff. I mean, I just pray that, it's not too bad. I pray that some of y'all got some generators, y'all made plans, and I pray that nobody's out of power for any length of time. So anyways, so shout out to Michael Dent, Allstate Insurance over in Powdersville area for Calhoun Highway. Well, guess what? We got a snowstorm coming in. I wasn't sure if they're going to play the game, but which I think they're kind of taking a chance. Clemson's actually in Atlanta right now, and we're playing Georgia Tech. We had a tough game. They were actually playing against NC State Tuesday. We were actually on our podcast. It was a heartbreak. We came back at the end and lost in overtime. NC State. Same coach McNeese that actually went to Clemson. He's beat us again. He has our number from both sides of the team. But I mean, Clemson's playing good ball. We missed too many freaking free throws Tuesday night, and that's something we got to make. They're free. That means, and they're throws. So if you get it free and you get to throw it up without anybody guarding you, you should make 90% of those. They're free throws. I mean, every practice, you ought to practice your free throws, because those got to be made. But I'm still on this team. I think it's one of the best teams we ever had. Georgia Tech's had a week off. They actually beat NC State, who just beat us up in Raleigh last Saturday. And then NC State came in and they beat us in overtime. So actually Clemson and Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's 11-8, 2-4 in the ACC. So be on the ACC network at noon. We're going to get off here in a little bit and watch it. And we got Clemson. They're undefeated in the ACC up until Tuesday night. So they're 6-1 in the ACC, 16-4 overall. Looking at going a third year into the big dance. You don't know what the big dance is. That's the March Madness. It looks like Clemson's on a path to go there, playing good ball. Let's go down to Georgia Tech and let's come away with a win. I don't think there's going to be a blowout. I think they got the home field advantage. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's probably going to be somewhere between, I think it's going to be close up to the end. It'd be somewhere like 70-77, something like that, like a 7-point game. Vegas has Clemson favored. But, if you look at Clemson's defense, we got the best defense actually in the ACC. I don't know what it is this week after that last game, but we were only allowing like 59, 60 points per game. So that's pretty good. So we got that going on, and baseball will be cooking up here a little bit right after Valentine's Day. We'll get started with some baseball. I mean, the main thing is if you haven't watched the video on TigerNet or wherever you're going to pull that off the YouTube channel, the Dabo speech, it's almost like he's the perfect guy to go out and speak, because Dabo's always pretty, clean cut, right down the path, crosses his T's, dots his I's. But Dabo made a speech. Really, it was like one of those, he could be a politician, but he was speaking, but he was sharing the message of where college football is. And if we don't do something, it's a broken system. Stuff like that should not happen. He's like, I usually stay in my lane, but I'm not just going to flat out sit here when somebody flat out tampers with this program. And so anyways, Austin Thomas of Ole Miss. And so I just think we need a cooling off period. It's gotten ridiculous. So basketball started up here in a little bit. Women's basketball, they've they were doing really well. They lost the other night, but they're playing better than they ever have. Got Poppy is a heck of a coach. He's changed the team around. So it's kind of like a time where we got the basketball team playing great and the men's and the women's playing better than they have in a long time. So that's good. I haven't watched a lot of women's basketball until this year. Saw a great comeback last Saturday. So like I said, we're popping in every Saturday from 11 to about 11:20. Just a little quick update because football season's not happening until we have our live shows and we actually go out and do like an ESPN game day. Everybody's asking about the spring game, and I mean technically the spring game is always the first Saturday normally in April. They hadn't announced it yet, but it's probably going to be the first Saturday in April. We will be doing a live show at Bixby's on College Avenue. We've got one person committed. We have a space for 3 sponsors. So we got 2 more we're looking at doing. So as soon as we get a time on that game, we always do it after the game because it's hard to talk about Clemson playing Clemson. Plus, it gives us a chance to go to the game, look at the players, new players, people coming in the transfer portal, and kind of break down what we see coming up into the 2026 season. Who would have thought 10 years ago we'd be talking about this? Also, Mike Dent's phone number, if you need to get in touch with him for your insurance needs, it's 864-720-6775. We got to have it. Got to have car insurance. You don't want to pay any more than you have to. You got to have health insurance. Don't want to pay any more than you have to. And you need to have life insurance and homeowners. You can put it all together in one package. Give him a call. Great guy, Clemson graduate. He had 3 kids. I know 2 or 3 of them went to Clemson and graduated. I think all of them have actually been to Clemson. He graduated from Clemson. So at 12 o'clock on the ACC network, it'll be the 144th time that we met Georgia Tech. It's the longest running basketball series. Clemson leads that series 79-69. So we got a little up on that. So I'm just worried about, coming back from Atlanta. Are they going to stay over? Or are they going to get back up here to the upstate Clemson before this snow hits? So we're looking at, I don't know, sleet somewhere around about 4 or 5 o'clock hit here in the upstate. And then tomorrow's when it's really going to get nasty. And so I'm not too excited about that. I got enough food to last me a month here. And so anyways, we're going to hunker down and watch a little basketball and hopefully come away with a win. So they've announced the football schedule for next year. Of course, we're playing LSU at LSU. So that's interesting. And so pretty much the biggest breaking news is what's going on in the transfer portal. We need a cooling down period. Cool down. Just relax. Relax. As soon as the season's over, just relax. Go out there and see what's out there. I agree. I think they need to make some changes. Changes aren't made until somebody steps up and speaks out. And Dabo's done that. I think they need to have a cooling off period. Let's open up the portal. I've never understood why they opened it up at least 2nd or 3rd day in January. Let's open up the portal around March, okay? Around March, give you time to look around, see what's out there. Give the guys a chance to, finish the college football playoffs, play the championship game, and move on from there. So anyhow, that's what's going on. We're kind of in that weird time right now. I am excited about March Madness coming up. Let's just take it one game at a time. Let's take the Georgia Tech game. But I've always loved March Madness, and that's around the corner. Let's see, we're about, I don't know, a little over a month before we start seeing the NCAA tournament. So I'm looking for a long run. Really, to be honest with you, I see an ACC championship. I know that big bad Duke in there. It'd be nice. Anything's possible. Anything's possible. So it just seems like our team, Godfrey's leading everybody with RJ Godfrey's got like 12.8 points a game. But everybody, Porter's hitting those 3-pointers. Every time he gets one, it's like he hit 2 in a row to begin the game last week. So Porter's, everybody's just kind of contributing. No really superstars. Nobody's standing out scoring 40 points a game. Everybody's kind of giving about the same contribution. The main thing is we're getting turnovers. The defense is playing lights out. Main thing we got to do is we got to make our free throws. Got to make those free throws because they are free. And you just can't miss them. And that was really the deciding point. In the game last Tuesday night at Little John. So just a lot of stuff, and I'm going to keep this kind of short. Getting off Clemson into the NFL. I know y'all saw the Bills game, and I didn't have a dog in the fight, so I was pulling for the Bills. You know, Josh Allen, them being the Super Bowl 4 years in a row. What I want to address here is, you remember the Duke call with Clemson? You know, there was a deciding game that, you know, was 40-something to 40-something, and the interference call. And then if you saw the Bills game, I've been watching football since I could watch football. I mean, I've been watching football all my life, since I was a little kid. I understand the game of football. I play football. There needs to be some kind of accountability, something where you get into a big game like that. You know, the coach got fired, which I don't understand. The coach got fired, brought him to 7. They hadn't gone for like 17 years, brought them 7 playoffs in a row. And really, if that play would have been called correctly, the Bills would advance. They would have probably just kicked a field goal, game over. I don't like the way they do the overtimes. I don't like the sudden death. They need to play it out. They need to just play it out. Only in football, in overtime, they have this weird thing where first team scores, it's over with. Play it out. Play it out. You're not going to tie when you get into the playoffs. You know, you can't tie. you got to advance. Play that thing out. I don't like the way they do that. But anyways, there needs to be some more accountability in college and in pro, where a referee can just make a call like that and change the whole outcome of a playoffs or a football game to begin with. There needs to be more accountability. That should not happen. These guys get paid. There's too much technology out there, replays. I don't see how in the heck the Bills lost like that. I mean, the guy caught the ball, possessed the ball, and once his knee went down, he's down. He can't fumble the ball. He can't take the ball away from him. But anyways, that's my rant. So anyhow, let's see. Tech's got 4 players who are averaging in double digits. Clemson's going down there. We're going to build some momentum back up. We're going to win this game. All right. So, anyways, join us every Tuesday night, 7:30 for a podcast. We're going to have Wayne Buckingham on there this coming Tuesday. We're going to talk a little bit about the Orange and White Golf Tournament. We're going to be doing some stuff with I Bleed Orange and working with them on some stuff. Wayne's a great guy. He'll talk your ears off, but he's always good to listen to. He's got a lot of information. Clemson, he knows Shaq. He knows Michael Jordan. He knows some of these guys. We would love to get on the show. But anyhow, Michael Dent Insurance, join us for a spring game, 12 o'clock down in Atlanta. ACC Network, Tigers, let's play some b-ball and let's come back with a win. Let's get up here safe and let everybody doesn't lose their power. So usually not a loss of words, but I am kind of right now. So I always appreciate you guys. Also, like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. It helps us out. It helps our sponsors out. We're growing at a phenomenal rate. It seems like we hit August of last year and we just took off 1,000%. Website hits are going up. Everything's going up. I've got some stuff I'm going to share later on down the road about some stuff we're doing with marketing around Clemson and some stuff we got approved for. And I'm excited about that. I'm really excited about that. I'm blessed to be able to do this for a living. I couldn't think of anything I'd rather do. And I bleed orange. So it's been a blessing from God. And that's about it. Love you guys. Peace out. And all God's children said, go Tigers. All right.